Uh, all right, guys. Thanks for being here. Again, name is Masati. Welcome. We've got a really fantastic content for you this time around, and the first half. And it's just a little slow for me in the beginning because I have to analyze the whole group. So just give me it takes me about a second or two, and then also trying to figure out the sound as well. So if you guys can tell me about this, sounds good. Oh, fantastic as well. All right, we're ready to go. Again, my name is Masati, and I've honed fantastic abilities to help you transform your life the fastest way possible. Okay? And it's very different than psychology, motivation, or anything like that. I can analyze your blueprint or the way your life works. You don't have to tell me anything about you. In fact, you don't even have to tell me your real name. The science behind it is on the lecture series that I do, or on the podcast on how I work or how my abilities work. By the way, I teach people on how to have fantastic abilities like me without having the two near-death experiences that I had. So I had two near-death experiences to really allow me to open up to the possibilities of what human is. And today we're going to be talking about human consciousness and what it's really about. Because there's a lot of information on human consciousness, and they're good, but it doesn't give you the science, the logistics on how to, one, access it, two, when I see all those other explanations, it's always from like you're inside the house and you're looking outside, but you can never go outside and play with it. Okay, so what I talk about, the deep science, is like, well, yeah, I see what's out there, but what are the logistics to get you out there and play around? So on the talk today, later on today, I'm going to be talking about, what consciousness is, giving you a solid definition of what consciousness is, and then on top of that, how do you go out and play with it? How do you go out to higher levels of consciousness where it gets really, really fun? I mean, fantastic stuff that you can do up there that even the latest technology doesn't even get you there. And it's, mind-blowing or orgasmic. So I'll be talking about that. But first is mass analysis. Later on, coming up soon, what we're going to do is we're going to switch it over. We're going to do the talk first, the deep science, and then I analyze. So on the analysis again, and also one more thing. In the near future, I'll have a live call. Okay, once a month we'll have a live call where we can interact with another, and then that way, for those people who say know that there's something out there, that gives you, say, a stronghold on how to connect to that thing, what's out there, what the knowledge is out there. For those who don't believe or who are scientist types and all that stuff, which is fantastic, that it gives you an opportunity to, say, expand your consciousness or expand your logic. That is like, how the hell does this guy analyze this individual so accurately, right, without even knowing anything about it? So again, it opens up those realities or possibilities, which is really cool. By the way, it's not intuition, or I don't channel anything. It's not really intuition. It goes way beyond that. It's not clairvoyance, clairaudio, and all those things that are out there. So let's go ahead and get started. And again, I'll just read you. One last thing before we move forward. Where'd it go? I have to read this. Lawyers here. So this is Masati with Xponential Intelligence, Sunday, January 31st, 2021. I'm not a medical doctor. I don't just diagnose or heal. I can scan your frequency signature and tell you what I see. Okay, so I could be all off. Who the hell knows? But please consult your doctor for professional advice. Also, I'm not a financial analyst or anything like that. So if you ask me about the market and all that stuff, I'll tell you what I see. Although my predictions have been about, say, 99% accurate. If you ask to be scanned today, you are agreeing that we may use your session on any public media to help inspire others. And then it also, again, like I said, it also allows other people to not necessarily believe, but become aware of what's there. Your belief system at a logic level, it doesn't matter, by the way. So public media to inspire others. So remember, if you don't want us to share your session, then don't ask to be scanned. It's pretty basic. All contents are protected by copyright. You may not use our content in any way, shape, or form for any purpose without my written permission. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get started. And again, we'll go into the deep science on consciousness, what it is, how to access it for to benefit not only you but humanity. Let's just see here. Just give me a second. This one is by Abby. Hi, Moss. Please, can you scan me and what is causing my health issues? Thank you for everything. Sure. So for you, Abby, again, not a doctor. Just want to emphasize that. Just tapping into you, Abby. Okay. So again, I could be wrong, but from what I'm analyzing is that when you were younger, or your father was exposed to some kind of heavy metals or some kind of inhalant that had heavy metals or chemicals in it. So again, it's either your father says the genetic makeup a little messed up, or you. So I can't quite tell because you and your father are interlinked together from what I'm seeing, or your father needs help. So one of the two, but either way, it's of, say, heavy metals from what I'm seeing, or heavy toxins in your system that need to get flushed out. So there's total human reset will really help you. By the way, it's starting February 3rd, I believe. There's an initiation call before that, but that would really help you through the process of autophagy, what we use, because you need something to start to eat away whatever's again, the toxins. There's also cleanses out there that you can help. I would do kind of a blood cleanse, again, because it's affected, the toxins are affected. I think whatever that you've done with me, though, there's a layer of separation. So that's what you're feeling, by the way. And, oh, that's your father. Again, your father, heavy, let's just say a heavy persuasion, okay, for lack of a better word, or influence upon you, even your identity of who you are, your muscular skeletal system, that kind of deal, kind of taking on your father. So whatever that you've done with me, Abby, it's like, there's a layer of you, and then there's a layer of your father and all this stuff, your disease, health issues and all that. So now there's a sense of separation, so you can kind of decipher, what's really you, what you really want to keep, and then what you don't. So in this mini session, what I helped you do is like pull even more distance, so create more distance. It's all about proximity. It's about you. It's your real identity coming out, and then your other stuff. It's like, hey, you know what, this disease, I don't want it anymore, or the way you get pushed over or written over, or people don't hear your suggestions, although they're very good suggestions. It's like, I'm tired of that. Right? It's like, why is that happening? And the cool thing about it, Abby, is that you're not blaming others. It's like, what is it in me? What is it in me that's allowing people to, do that to me? Which is really key, because most people go, shit, I don't like that person. Why are they doing that to me? And then I think that was you in the past, by the way. So, but again, many of you would blame others. It's like, I always attract bad relationships, and you go after, relationship after relationship after relationship, but you don't change yourself. We'll be talking about that in February, by the way. So for you, Abby, again, creating more separation, more distance, and with that, I would suggest a longer session, though. But with that, what's going to happen for you is that, what's going to happen for you is that as you separate, and you notice that stuff's not you, you're not giving that stuff energy, so it starts to die off, including your health issues. And then you start to come up with better solutions, better solutions to, say, resolve your life issues. So really nice job. Welcome to the XI Club. You're almost there. This is Teal. Hamas, could you please scan me? I feel that everything that I work on does not work. I would be very thankful. So yeah, Teal Tassa. So for you, it's just that you get to a point, and what's happened is that, you've been, it's kind of sad. You're this person that's like, hey, let's go adventure. Let's go try this and this. And then, probably your parents, going, no, don't do that. You can't do that. Or if you're having fun, it's like something always squelches you. So that's become a pattern. And it's not really your pattern. It's just the family value structure, that you can't have too much fun. You can't have too much fun, because then you're a bad person. Or basically the family pattern is you have to suffer to look good in the eyes of God. So again, a religious type pattern or a good person pattern. Again, you have to burden yourself or help save things or people, whatever it is, to make you feel good. And then again, it never feels good. So what you've added on is that no matter what you do, you're going to get squelched on that pattern. So patterns are, or like DNA, for example, your skin color, your eye color, your hair color, whatever it is, it just progresses down the line, right? With every generation. So for you, see, Teal, let's just help you start to stand up as well. I kind of see you as a fighter. It's like, hey, that's not right, and then you'll fight for your right. Kind of like an underdog, an underdog. And all an underdog is basically a victim that just gets beat up. So they stand up, they get beat up. They stand up, they get beat up. That's the only difference between a victim and an underdog. They have that will to get beat up more than once. Simple as that. So let's get rid of that as well. Just give me a second. And by the way, if I'm working on, say, Teal here, those people who run the same patterns, I'll be working on you as well. So don't just go, oh, he's not going to pick me, and then it's like just wait, or wait. Just stay in the meditative space, or just stay quietly in your space. Okay, don't be checking your texts and stuff like that. But again, stay within your space, and you'll feel the frequencies that I generate for you. So this one is Cacha. Would love a scan, thank you. Sure. So again, you seem kind of new, or whatever you've done with me as of late has like massively, say, taken the wrappings off your life, and it's like, whoa, I knew that there was something out there, but now I can actually, say, grab onto it. So you're really excited about that. You just don't know where to go or where to start, and then also you're just wondering how long is it's going to last for you. So that's another thing for you. It's like, well, how long is this going to last? It's too good to be true. I think in the past, you got to a certain point, and it's like, wow, I can relax. And then as soon as you relaxed, it's like, shit, like all hell goes to, what is it? Everything goes to, goes to pieces. So you've gotten used to, it's like you get to a certain point, things are good. It's like, shit, when's the next shoe gonna drop? And then you just wait for that. So so take a deep breath in, all of you who run those patterns, and even those who don't. Let's help you release or understand why that pattern happened. So you have a good mechanism on knowing what's out there, and also creating it at a certain level. But let's, again, in this mini session, let's take that veil off, okay? Take the veil off. And there's also, if you think of your life as being on a leash, okay? Cacha. So if you think of your life as being on a leash, you can only go so far, and then you get snapped back. And then what you do is like, shit, there's nowhere else to go. The leash is here. It's like, I'll just go back to the beginning. And then you start over again. It's like, whoa, you get excited. Relationships, business, whatever it might be. Identifying who you are, or as adventure. It's like, whoa, and then you lean, you start tracking out again. It's like boom, you hit that leash, and it's like shit, nowhere to go. I'll create something that brings me back to number one, because then I have something to do. So let's just break that leash for you right now. And for those who feel like they're on a leash or can only reach so far, or the glass, the ceiling, you hit the ceiling and then you drop back down. So take a deep breath in. All of you. We'll just work on all of you here. So let's help you define that leash. How, you don't have to know how or why it's created. You can figure that out later for those who need to figure that out later. You don't need to figure it out later to move on, by the way. And then, so what'll happen for you, and again, I suggest a deeper session, not to break the leash, because that'll be broken for you. Yeah, that'll be broken for you in 3-4 days. So the way you'll experience it, and again, it's very key, guys, this is confirming your deletions, is like, I can help you reprogram yourself, I can help you create different opportunities, but when those opportunities come to you, you'd have to confirm your deletions. So what that means is like, that if something abusive is coming to you and you see that it's coming to you straight away, it's like, shit, this person is going to abuse me, and straight away, that's the key. This time straight away. You don't have to wait like 6 months, right? Then don't do it. Don't get connected to that person right away, and it confirms your deletion, and then another person, say in that example, will come forward for you that won't abuse you. So simple as that. So for you, Cacha, is like, you'll get to that point, and then it'll start to unravel. The leash will start to unravel, and then you have to make a decision. It's like, well, do I go backwards because that's what I'm comfortable with, or do I perpetuate success even more? Because the unknown for many, this is the fear of success, the unknown for many is scarier than going back and getting your old life. So again, that's the breakthrough that you might need more help on. But once you break through, that's where your abilities and so on can escalate really, really well. This one was Quasim. Hi, Mas, could you scan me, please? Thanks. You're always in your head. Again, always in your head. Not just a little, but always. And then, there's a pattern of worry because, if you're always in your head, you have to do something with your time. I mean, think of it. When people are in their head, they have to think of something. Otherwise, they get bored, right? And they'll have to do something. So, which creates a lot of problems, because if you don't know what to think about, then you go inward and then you start picking on yourself, right? Just the way your mom did. Your mom would just like pick on every little thing, not just you, but the whole household. Everything could be, say, perfect from what I'm seeing. And again, guys, if I read you, by the way, not for my benefit, because I know I'm accurate, but for everybody else on the live chat, just chat back and go, yeah, that was perfect, or it wasn't, whichever way. But back to Quasim here. So over time, you've kind of gotten withdrawn, and then even if there isn't a problem, it'll create a problem, because that's what you're more, say, comfortable with, right? And you're a great problem solver, but then you define yourself by solving problems. So if there's no problems in your life, or things are better for you, you can't define yourself in space-time. You literally lose track of your identity. So again, drama follows you, and that's why drama follows you, by the way. So take a deep breath in, buddy. Let's delete that for you, or I can't delete it for you because your identity is based on it. So what I can do for you is create, again, distance, right? So there's less proximity between you and, say, the patterns that you run, not your problems, because it's not your problems that are affecting you. Again, you're a great problem solver, but the desire for you to, say, have problems at a deeper level to identify who you are, okay? So I know that sounds crazy, but again, people who run this pattern, and there's quite a few of you, if everything was going good, you'd feel hopeless. or you'd feel like you're not worthy of anything. So that's where that pattern comes from. It's not a problem. You just want solutions. On the flip side, though, which is really cool with Xponential Intelligence (XI), you can switch that around where it's like, you don't need problems to expand and grow. You can. And by the way, guys, as I speak, I'm working on you as well. Again, take a deep breath in. You don't need problems to expand and grow. Right? You don't need to fix things to expand and grow, or to keep you, say, to have an identity. You could expand and grow and stay in space and time, like stay connected with yourself, which is really fantastic, right? If you paid attention on what you could expand and grow into. So instead of getting, and this is the same kind of pattern where people don't know what to do with their lives, so they create illnesses in their life, and then it gives them something to do or an excuse not to go forward. I kind of see that in your family, or maybe a sister, or maybe your wife. I don't know, one of those two, Quasim. That's what they do, right? They create a health issue, and then it's like, well, I'm sick, so I can't really expand out there. But anyway, so those types of individuals, again with XI, you can turn that negative into a positive by going, well, so a new problem arises for you. Okay, it's still a problem, but a good problem. It's like, well, I'm here, point A, I want to be point B, and you're not trying to heal yourself, because basically what you all do, people who run these patterns, is like, point A, point B is going to fix my problem, and then once you're fixed, it's like, shit, I need to go back to point A, create another problem, and go to point B. Does that make sense? So you want to go from point A to point B, fix your problems, and then you go, well, hey, I want to go to point C, which is a better version of myself. So you go forward, let's say, rather than recycle problems. Okay? Take a deep breath in. And then also, you'll find that you'll drop into your body more. Yeah. And I think even now, you're actually feeling your body. It's like, shit, I'm alive. So, fantastic job, buddy. Let's see. This one is Gloria. Hi, Moss, can you scan me? I liked all the hearts and stuff. So Gloria, you hold on to burdens of a lot of people. I don't know if somebody had a heart attack around you, or heart issues. I don't know if it's you. It doesn't feel like you, but you hold on to this pattern long enough, you'll probably have heart issues and so on. So heart issues or heartache, physical heart issues, or again, emotional heart issues or burdens, let's just say just in the chest area, really heavy. There is some death around you. So whoever that is, it's kind of a masculine feel for you. Could be, say, your father, your grandfather, that kind of feel. So they might have crossed over, or they're ready to cross over, something to that effect, or they're ill with heart issues, and that kind of feel. But that's coming on to you. Okay, and then we call that hereditary. It's not necessarily hereditary, but they're frequencies. I talked about this on the science of death. There's going to be part 2, by the way, on the science of death. So if you purchase part 1, you'll get part 2 for free. So we'll just do that. So my team, guys, if you're listening to that, we'll do part 2, and again, part 2 would be free to you, all who purchased part 1. But anyway, so the science of death, basically, as they disconnect, that consciousness leaves, or they leave that consciousness, somebody else has to, say, take care of that, and that would be you. So let's help you remove that pattern, and then also that person who is dead, close to death, either way. So, and it could be somebody from, got it. So you picked up your pattern, Gloria, is like when you were born, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of age, when you were born, your mother heavy with guilt with somebody dying, and you look at your mother and you go, I guess that's the way humans do it in this reality, or in this consciousness. So you can get used to the term as we talk about that in about 4 minutes. And then what happens is like, well, you start creating that. Yeah, you start creating that. And it's like, well, I guess I need to burden myself as well. And then you allow people with their burdens, or especially people who are ill or dying, connect with you time and time again, from what I'm seeing. So I helped you stop that. Okay. Well, this one is from Selma. Hi, Mouse. I need a scan. I'm interested in healing scoliosis and a lot of different kinds of back pain. Can you please help and guide into taking steps towards it? Yes. So it's interesting. Again, not a doctor. Selma. Sorry, Selma. Sorry about that. So Selma. So for you, again, I take a look at autoimmune disease, scoliosis, and many other diseases. Again, I'm not a doctor, but again, I see the underlying reason why people have those issues. So working in conjunction, or complement to doctors really works out well. In fact, there's several doctors that come to me if they can't figure out their patients, or even psychologists, they can't figure out their patients' issues, they would come to me. Or also, if you've tried a ton of stuff out there and it's like, I'm their last hope, they would come to me. So for those non-believer types. But anyway, yeah, for you, Selma, what's happening is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah, like 3 or 4. There's 3 or 4 deaths around you, and it's not, say, normal death. It's like abortions, loss of a child, that kind of feel. It doesn't matter what, but your family holds on to. There's always death or grief around babies, or loss of babies. So for some reason, again, we don't have time to get into why, although I could help you. But let's just focus on this. Let's help release. So that consciousness, or a loss of consciousness, whether it's whether you lost some kids, which I think you did. I think you lost 1 or 2 maybe, from what I've seen. But then your mother, and sisters or aunts or whoever. Again, there's a pattern of losing kids in the family. Okay? Anyway, when that happens, and that identity, or if you want to call it your spirit, I would call it that consciousness that creates that child, still holds on to this consciousness. Well, if it still holds on, again, the science of death, if it still holds on to this consciousness, somebody living has to feed that, and that would be, say, you. So you house identities in you, and that's why your midsection, for example, really doesn't feel like you. It feels kind of death for you, or like sex and all that, that deeper connection that you want to have. It's not going to be there. Again, it's a pattern of death, and this is where a lot of women start to have issues down there with their feminine parts, their ovaries and so on like that, when they run these patterns. So anyway, let's help you release that pattern, and then we'll get into the deep science. Moss on Sunday is the deep science on consciousness and what that is. So let's take a deep breath in. Yeah, let's take that deep breath in. And for you, Selma, just really helping you, say, shed away. So if you so the deeper level, what you would feel, what you would experience is that you're never alone. You're always like thinking that there's somebody with you. You can't make up your own mind, or your mind. You can't make up your mind, or you have 3 or 4 possible thoughts on that, again, because there's other identities in you. So imagine that, when I see you, your left side, when I see your spine, and again, I've never seen you physically, but when I see you, your spine goes like that. So on your, and you'd be watching me, so on your, on your left side, there's like these identities, again, loss babies, basically, that's housed in you. Okay? So this is, again, and I know that might sound far out, but for you, Selma, you would experience people that always need you, and they get really close to you, so close that it becomes like toxic for you, right? No matter who it is. Again, your mom, your sister, your partner, your friend, the guy that serves you the guy that serves you coffee, whatever. You get to know them, and then all their shit just comes and latches on to that left side. So anyway, let's remove all that stuff for you. And with people that have worked on with scoliosis, again, not a doctor, they start to align themselves, not only physically, but emotionally and so on. Like they become more congruent or more one. So, all right, let's take a deep breath in, guys. We'll get into the deep science.